Hello, and welcome back to the Spoilercast, the show where we talk about movies and we don't care about spoiling them. And welcome to this penultimate Halloween episode. Ooh. Penultimate means second to last.
Second to last, right? Yeah. Is that right?
My name is Tobias, and with me as always is my sister and trusted co-host, Rebecca.
Hello.
Hello.
Wait.
And today we are finally going to talk about the big one, the big cheese this year.
Yes.
When it comes to horror. The theme has been clowns this Halloween season for us. So I guess you already know what we're going to talk about, right? And we've been saying we're going to talk about it, so.
Yeah.
It took a while for it to come here to Sweden, but we are finally going to talk about Terrifier 3. Ooh, yes. Yes, finally.
Funny thing is, this was supposed to be like another week, really. But
yes.
It came early for us, I guess.
Yeah, it was supposed to be the last movie we talk about, which is going to be a nice round off to the season, but it got pushed forward a week here in Sweden, and we were like, we're gonna watch it then immediately. Yes. So here we are. So next week's gonna be a bit anticlimactic as the ending. We're gonna talk about killer clowns from outer space.
Yeah.
But that's for next week. For now, it's Terrifier 3 time. Yeah. The movie that everybody's already kind of talked about.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm still excited.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about it. I mean, everyone knows what it is. Art the Clown is back. This time it's been 5 years since the last one. I mean, in movie time, it's been 2 years in real time. And now he's back, not on Halloween, but on Christmas.
Yes.
Back to murder and maim and slaughter and kill basically anyone he comes across. And it's up to what are their names? Sienna and Jonathan to stop them once and for all. Or will they?
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So yeah. Terrifier 3, written and directed by Damien Leone once again. Let's just get into it. What did you think of Terrifier 3?
I thought it was pretty good.
Uh-huh.
I'm a little bit underwhelmed because I heard that people like ran out and puked and stuff, and I didn't understand that.
Sure.
The rumor about the opening scene being like the most gruesome thing they've ever seen is like, no. That's an exaggeration that probably just circulated to make people go and watch the movie.
Yeah.
Which I feel is a little bit, I don't like that kind of marketing, but whatever.
Yeah.
I still enjoyed the movie. I laughed, I cringed, I unfortunately rooted for Art, but still.
What? Okay.
I have an issue with Sienna. I think we'll get into it.
Uh-huh,
I want Art to win.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
but
can we get into it without spoilers?
Well, it just has to do with the trilogy in general and me liking the first one most.
That is so weird. But okay.
In short explanation, the first one is great because it has no.
The first one is in Terrifier.
Yes. It's great because it has no real plot. Really, it's just murder and gore.
Well,
I feel like the whole plot and like storyline and having a main character and a final girl and all that stuff kind of ruins it.
Ruins it?
Yeah, kinda. Just
Okay.
kinda.
Okay, it kind of ruins it. Okay.
Kinda.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the simple explanation. So, what did you think of Terrifier 3?
I liked it quite a bit. I would say that it's the best of the three. Best of the four,
Okay.
if you count All Hallows Eve, the first.
I barely remember that one, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I know I've seen it, but I don't remember.
Yeah. It delivered on all the gore and cringe. Cringe as in, the real reuse of the word.
Yeah.
It delivered story-wise. It delivered on performance. It looks so good.
Oh,
You can
yes,
definitely
that's
tell
true.
that this has like 4 times the budget of the last one.
Yeah.
The fact that they filmed in, I think, like anamorphic lenses. Not on film, I don't think, but at least in anamorphic
No, he
lenses.
said he couldn't. Oh, right. Do we say that?
Yeah, I mean, it's trivia we found out.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. It just has that super classic classic 80s. It was a Carpenter look, 70s,
Yes.
80s, specifically Carpenter look. And there was,
Which is, as we found out, something he wanted to emulate, I guess.
yeah, and I love then the fact that because it is during Christmas, because the movies have always been very colorful with lights, a lot of lights, and colors, red mainly.
Mainly, yes.
Yeah. But it's always felt kind of flat. Now it finally has that,
Some dimension to
some
it.
people said, cinematic look. Yeah. It's not all just flatly lit. They have shadows, they have depth of the picture. And all these lights with the anamorphic lenses gives you that nice, depth of feel and field. Mm-hmm. And it just looked so good.
That's true. It's the best looking one, definitely.
Oh yeah. Some of the flatness still exists, but I think deliberately when they're in the mall, because a mall is usually lit very softly, so everything's just flat.
Yeah,
so it made sense.
Kind of clinically. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was just like, oh no, am I watching 1 and 2 again? Ugh.
But it's intentional, and also like maybe a slight like throwback to the first 2 movies.
Sure.
To not be completely different.
It felt the best paced in like
That's true.
Story to murder set piece.
That's true. Yeah.
At how it was spaced out. Mm-hmm. It felt more grounded, even though it still has all the supernatural stuff that went on, especially in the second one.
Yeah.
It felt less epic, but in a good way. Because that one almost turns into like a fantasy action movie towards the end.
Yeah.
Certain aspects of it. They toned that down, which I liked.
Yes. But it still had some of it, like a smidge of it.
Excuse me. Yes. I mean, that's still, the plot line is still, continues on from the last one, where Sienna seems to be connected to art in some way.
Yeah.
Or her dad more, but her connected to him.
Yeah, there's some cosmic connection between Art and her dad, and then her somehow.
Yeah. And they elaborate, because they don't elaborate on that at all in the second one, which always felt weird to me. Here they elaborate a little bit on it.
Still felt kind of weird to me.
Still felt weird. But we know that there's at least going to be one more movie, so I'm hoping they're going to wrap that story up.
Yeah, we do need an explanation, because that's part of why I don't like the whole story beat of the second and now the third movie then. Because it feels so unclear.
Sure, yeah. And
it's a little bit annoying. Like, okay, so I have to wait another 2 years to find out what the connection actually is. Like, what is this really?
Yes, and I agree. The plot is the weakest part of these movies.
Yes.
But I think that is also by design. Like, really, what they want to do is just have Art go around and kill people,
murder people
in the worst kind of way. Yeah, and on that,
she does.
It delivered. I would say this one might have the best murder sequences. If you count them by volume and quantity and quality.
Yes,
I still think
it definitely has the most of the more gory ones.
Yeah.
To me, the first real gory kill in the first movie is still the worst, but that's just on a personal level.
It really only has one proper big
one
gory
real
kill.
Bloody gore where you see basically everything.
Yeah.
Here you have that like 4 times.
Yeah. I still think that the best sequence out of all 3 movies is probably when he kills the first friend in the second movie, where he chases her into her room and just like cuts open her skin, chops off her arms, and starts pouring like salt and sulfuric acid into her body.
Oh, right.
That one is fucking awful because she's alive for so long.
Wasn't that the teaser for the second movie? I think part of it.
I don't know. I don't think I saw a trailer for the second one.
That is also that is also one of the better ones, definitely. But it's also one of the few really gory ones in that movie.
No.
In the second movie. There's not a lot of the gory ones, though.
Yeah, there is.
Is there? Or am I not remembering that?
Every
I watched
kill
this
is
movie
super
earlier
gory.
this week.
Yeah. There's the stabbing in the dick scene. There's the ripping off the face of the second friend.
Yeah, but half of the stabbing in the dick scene you see, like, from a distance or, like, from inside the car, so you don't actually see it all. That's what I mean.
Yeah. There's the killing of the guy in the Halloween store. That one's pretty quick, but, the shooting mom's face off or shooting her head off.
Yeah.
And then propping her up at the table, shoving mashed potatoes into her face. Her what remains of her face. And of course the whole birth scene in the end.
Sure.
Yeah. No, this one has every like kill scene is like ramped up to 11.
Yeah, and you get to see most of it, like literally most of it. Not cutting away, not from weird angles we don't see anything.
Yeah.
I think the only one we don't actually get to see is the one time he kills a child.
Yeah, we don't actually see him.
We get to see the aftermath instead.
Yeah, and that's the opening. You've seen the teaser when he comes into the house and the little girl's like, Santa? That scene is like 15 minutes long in the beginning. And
it contains more people
guess what?
that get
he
killed.
Kills the entire family.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not a spoiler. I mean, this is gonna happen, But yeah, they're still, dancing around the whole killing of children, which is nice that we don't see too much, honestly.
Yes.
No, I loved everything about it. Yeah, it's not a perfect movie, and I didn't expect that. I just expected more art and
Mayhem.
more art.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to watching it again, more than any of the other ones, because it's like I said, the pacing does so much for this one. Mm-hmm. The second one is so long, even though it's not really that. It's like 15 minutes longer, barely.
But it's so slow.
Yeah, because like other than the beginning of that movie, there's like 50 minutes before we get any like real good gory murder.
There's like 4 set pieces for me in the second movie. It's the morning of, or the morning when we put the fire and all that stuff. Then it's the Halloween store. It's the party and at the fairground.
And the Clown Cafe dream when he burns.
Oh right, the Clown Cafe dream. But that's part of the morning for me, kind of thing.
Yeah. Here, like we said, it's evenly spaced out. Like it starts with a good murder. Then we have a few establishing shots of Art doing his stuff while Sienna tries to recuperate.
Yeah.
And then, the college, and then the finale.
And the bar.
And the bar.
Oh
my god, the
probably
bar.
One of my favorite scenes.
Yes. Yeah, because we got more Art sass in this.
Yes.
Art is
which I really like.
I mean, he's always been fun in these movies, and a lot of the movie is just him. You thinking he's funny, which is such a great juxtaposition. She's like, haha, he's so funny. Oh my god, he's ripping people apart.
Yes.
And here, there is this long sequence of him just hanging out in a bar with his new friends. And then,
Santa Claus is one of them.
Yeah, guess what? It turns sour and he kills everyone. Spoilers. And he introduces one of his new weapons, which you won't spoil. Not yet, though. We'll do that in the spoiler section. No, yeah, it is everything.
I think it partially bothered me and helped, I guess, that we watched it in theater for the first time, because I don't think we saw it first or second one in theater.
They were never in theaters in Sweden.
No.
The first one was never in theaters, and the second one was just in some theaters.
Exactly. It helped with the fact that we got the
Yeah, there was a lot of promotional stuff around this.
Yes. We had a Art the Clown running around the theater, which was kind of fun.
Yeah. I'll put up a picture
I kind of wanted him to come sit next to us, but you didn't want that.
No, I wouldn't want him sitting next to us the entire movie. He did roam around the theater from time to time.
Yes, a few times, mostly in the beginning, and then all of a sudden towards the end, he just showed up on the row, I think the row before, in front of us and behind us, just quickly. Which I think helped, but it didn't help that we had a bunch of dudes in the row behind us that kept running in and out of the theater.
Yeah.
it really bothered me and took me out of the immersion. Yeah, I was like, is it art? And it's like, no, it's not. It's just these dudes, and they kept doing it. It's like, I'm being distracted.
Yeah, it wasn't my worst horror movie theater experience. So I had much worse.
Oh yes.
Whenever you go and see like a
actual like teen screams, that's annoying.
Yeah, like a jump scare movie. Like I remember Conjuring 3. I saw that by myself. It's almost 10 years ago now. Jesus.
But we saw something like last year, I think, with a bunch of teenagers, and we just sighed knowing this was gonna suck. I don't remember which movie it was though.
Yeah, that was the one where we sat pretty far up in the and there was literally a guy behind us on his phone vaping.
Yeah.
Like, why are you here?
Yeah.
You can look at your phone at home.
Exactly.
I don't mind the vape. It smelled nice, but come on, dude. You're not supposed to.
And then there was a bunch of kids, like a few rows down, that were just screaming constantly, even when there was nothing to scream about.
Yeah,
that was worse. This was okay. It still bothered me that they kept running out, because it ruined the whole
like several times.
Experience.
I don't know, were they going to the bathroom or getting more popcorn? I don't know. Like, how many times do you have to leave the theater?
You could order popcorn into the theater. You don't have to go out to do that. So they were probably going to the bathroom because they had a bucket of beer.
That's true, yeah.
But
I think the audience was mostly respectful. Yes. And I mean, it's that kind of movie where you're going to have audience participation, so to speak.
But it's also because that's why I'm mentioning it, because I need to rewatch this to properly enjoy it, I think.
Undisturbed.
Uninterrupted is the word I'm looking for.
And I mean, as we found out by Mr. Leone himself, he's already working on the Blu-ray. And I know you can. I know because a friend at work, he doesn't like to go to the theater, but he really wanted to see the movie. You can already order it on Amazon on Blu-ray 4K.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm guessing it's gonna like show up to Christmas or something like that. I get that feeling.
Probably.
I mean, as long as it's in theaters, they want to keep running it in theaters, of course.
Of course.
But I think, especially since it's a Christmas-themed movie, it would be great to have it out on home media for Christmas.
Yeah. Also, as much as this is a great movie for us, I'm not sure general audience will go and see this in theaters too much.
Well, no, maybe not here in Sweden. I think
exactly in Sweden, I mean.
I think it's only it's showing yesterday when we saw it, today. And I think they're gonna go on like a case by case basis. If there's still people like buying tickets, they're gonna keep showing it. But
probably, I think that's usually what they do with these kinds of movies.
Yeah, I think it's gonna run out pretty quickly, though. I get that feeling. But I don't know if you've read up on that, but it's been doing great in the States. Like it was like number 1 at the box office.
It does have dates available.
Oh my god!
For next Sunday.
It has. Yeah, exactly. The 3rd of November. Yeah. Okay. Well, good.
So maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. Maybe.
Maybe they're expecting a lot of people to go see this.
Yeah, and that's a good thing.
Oh yeah.
Because it's also something we need to bring up. Even if you don't like, maybe this isn't really your kind of movie, and like we said, it's not like a perfect movie.
No.
But the fact that a small independent movie like this. Now, this did have backing from like a studio, but it's a small studio.
And I mean, it's the 3rd one, so by now, yes, they've built a bit of a following.
I mean, he had. I read that he had offers from like big studios.
Okay,
I'm guessing Blumhouse, but yeah, I don't know. To like they wanted to fund the 3rd one, and he said no because he knew that they would say, but you can't do this, this, and this, and he's like, but I'm gonna do it. And that was why he went with whoever it was that distributed this. The only thing they had as a stipulation was it needs to be under 2 hours, and even then,
which all of them have been.
No, the second one is like 2 hours and 18 minutes.
It is.
The second one is it's a horror epic.
Right, that's true.
Yeah, and this one is just over 2 hours.
2:05.
Yeah. So he was really, it was.
Doesn't feel that long,
no,
though.
Exactly. And you know why? Because of the pacing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's why the first one, which is the shortest one, feels so long to me. I mean, it took me like 4 tries to get through it. Because it's so...
The first time or this time?
This time.
Ah, yeah.
Because...
Oh, no.
Nothing happens in that movie.
That's true. There's not a lot of happening in it, but you still have some scenes that are just
Yeah, I mean,
wonderful.
I still like those scenes.
Yeah.
It's all the stuff in between, and the fact that the movie kind of resets halfway through.
Yeah.
Spoilers for that movie,
That's
but when they kill the final girl and bring in a new final girl, it's like, what?
Yeah, that's kind of dumb.
Yeah. Still like that movie, but rewatching it now for the first time in a few years, it's like, oh wow, he has really grown as a director and writer, I would say.
Yes, definitely.
But I was gonna say what I really like about this, and you know, as a principle, so to speak, is that this is like just like we haven't talked too much about the whole Strange Darling thing. We have this small movie that is basically like doing gangbusters, so to speak, purely based on word of mouth and like grassroots promotion.
Yeah.
Of course, Strange Darling is a super small movie, even smaller budget than Terrifier 3. And it got shown in like hundreds of theaters and stayed in theaters for weeks and weeks and weeks, purely based on the director and the star, Cal Gallner, JT Molnar is the director and writer, them kind of promoting it on Twitter and getting people hyped up for it, and then like saying like if you demand it by your local theater, we can give it to them.
Yeah.
And that's how it like stayed in theaters for weeks and weeks and weeks. A movie that should never have been in theaters to begin with, but it deserved to be. But it shouldn't have been based on like how movies work nowadays. And then of course the fact that it showed up in theaters meant that it got promoted on Twitter by people like Kevin Bacon, who like he left the theater and he loved it so much that he made a video talking about how fucking great it was. And like people like Guillermo del Toro shouting it out on Twitter and stuff like that. And this has kind of had the same effect. I mean, just the other day on Instagram, it didn't say it outright, but Halle Berry posted a picture of her standing next to an art doll, a big like, life-size doll, saying like, and was like hanging out for the Halloween season. So
okay.
she didn't go like, it's great, go and see it. But I mean,
no, but mention is
getting
mention.
it out there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Because I mean, there's not a lot of black and white clowns these days that you will think of, except for art.
And everyone knows that it's Art the Clown at this point.
Exactly.
Even people who's not into the movies, they know who Art the Clown is. He's
become an icon.
Become a new icon, like our first like legitimate slasher icon since like the 90s.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you would say like Jigsaw in the 2000s in the Saw movies.
Sure.
But those aren't slasher movies; it's more torture porn. But no, a horror icon. But before that, I mean, the only one we had was Ghostface from Scream.
Yeah.
And before that, of course, it's the original
Freddy
Freddy, Michael, and Jason.
Jason, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's also cool to see that it's becoming like a cultural thing now. This little movie that shouldn't even have made it, so to speak. And that's what I love about it as well.
Yes. I want to say, should we mention the little extra we got when we watched it? Because we watched a special screening, sort of.
Yeah, and I put that out in a short. Because they kind of sold it as this is the premiere. That's why we got the barf bags and they had people there.
Yeah.
And there was going to be a exclusive Q&A with Damien Leone, and we were like, "Whoa!"
I think it even said like "Meet the Creator" or something.
Yes. However,
we were like, "Shit, he's going to be there," because we've had that before. I think once or twice.
Dude, we had Zack Snyder
exactly
in the flesh during the Sucker Punch premiere.
Sucker Punch, yes.
Unfortunately,
you actually got to ask him a question, even though you stammered your way through it.
Because I have very few times in my life I've been starstruck, but that was one of them. And this was before Justice League.
I still remember running after him going, Mr. Schneider, can I have your autograph? Yeah. And he just totally ignored me.
This one, not as cool because it was a pre-taped interview, like a Skype interview.
Yes,
but
with
it was
some dude, I don't even know who that was.
I'm guessing from, I think it's Nordic Film who distributes here. I think it's...
that's true.
Because it was an exclusive interview for Swedish theaters.
Yes.
Yeah, so it must have been someone from the Swedish distribution company. But yeah, it was pre-taped, but it was still interesting to hear him talk about the movie. That's where we got some tidbits about him actually already working on the Blu-ray. And the fact that the Blu-ray is going to have a completely different soundtrack, different audio track.
Yeah.
They're going to like rework
he said he
a lot
was like
of
reworking it or still editing
effects.
it or something. Yeah.
Which is kind of funny because there were some sound effects that didn't really fit.
They sounded a bit cartoonish sometimes.
Yes. And really, there was really only one, though, that bothered me. Maybe that's why they're reworking it, because they noticed it too. Early on in the movie, when Vicky, the face lady from the second movie and first movie, she is, slight spoiler, she's slitting her wrist, and it literally sounds like...
Yeah, that was so weird. It's
just her with a knife, It shouldn't be more than a...
It shouldn't even be a sound, really.
Yeah, but instead it sounded like, they were shoving a
hacking at
pig
her
into a industrial grinder or something.
Yeah, kinda.
So I'm guessing maybe that's the kind of stuff they're reworking for the Blu-ray?
Yeah, probably. And also maybe they have to like rework certain sounds for having like instead of a 1.5 sound, they have to have it for like a 1.2 sound or whatever.
2.1, 5.1.
2.1.
Stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah, they might have to like, I don't know, alter where things turn up. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how that shit works.
No. I don't know too much about it either. But yeah, everything about this movie though, I can't say much more without going into spoilers. That's the thing.
I was saying that. Let's go into spoilers.
Yeah, because we've been talking
I want to ask you about some stuff because I'm not sure. Either I didn't understand some of the story bits, or I just didn't like them. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah. So we'll say from now on, there's going to be spoilers, specific story spoilers. We're going to spoil some of the set pieces, so to speak.
Yes.
So if you don't want that ruined for you, turn it off now. Then watch the movie come back, of course.
Of course.
But from here on out, spoilers. Now.
You have been warned.
Yeah, you have been warned. Now, when they kill Jonathan off screen...
Yes. What the heck was that?
That is also that's another thing I didn't like about it. They killed Jonathan, like one of the main characters, off screen, like off screen.
I have a theory. That it's not actually Jonathan.
I get that feeling too, because they first said it was
Gabby.
Their Sienna's cousin, yeah. But then I'm like, no, so of course it's not Gabby. It's actually Jonathan. It's like, well, are you sure now, or
Exactly. Also, since they actually didn't show us that he died, makes it more believable that they're just gonna bring him back.
I hope so. I almost
either they imprisoned him and are gonna keep him for like the opening for the next movie. Or I don't know, just a random scene in the next movie.
Although the way
or he just ran away. I don't know.
The way they set it up, it feels like the next movie is gonna deal with trying to save Gabby, since she falls into hell or whatever happened in the end.
But maybe Jonathan's there as well.
Yeah, I want him to show up halfway through the next movie. He kicks open a door, Sienna, I'm gonna help you, and he has an axe or something. Yeah. It's like, Jonathan, you're alive! He's like, yeah! He jumps in and starts killing demons or something. Yeah. That was also you killed him off. First of all, why would you ever kill someone off screen in this movie?
Exactly.
It feels they're setting something up since we didn't see him die.
The uncle isn't killed on screen either.
No. But it's his body they're crucifying, we think. We see the head.
That's true.
The head is the top of the Christmas tree.
At the Christmas tree, yeah. Because I was thinking, the way that the crucified body looks, it could be the dude from the college.
Could be, but...
With how he's sliced. And my motion is indicating how he was sliced.
Oh. I was so glad with that.
That is payback for the scene from the first movie where girls hurt.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this one. And I don't know if you heard about it say, oh, he's gonna shove it up his ass, and then he did.
No, I heard you, and I just looked at you, and
he shoved the chainsaw up his ass. Oh my god!
I wanted to see if you had the same reaction that most dudes have when you watch the French horror movie Inside and the Scissors. hit the scrotum or whatever it is she hits.
Yeah.
Every time I've seen that with a dude, he cringes the fuck out. I just swore, I'm sorry. And I wanted to see if it was the same reaction here, but you didn't have the same visceral reaction, I think.
No, I mean, at that point, I don't think the guy's gonna like, oh no, my balls, like, oh no, his entire body is already cut up.
Yeah, that's
like,
true. That's true.
It's just adding insult to injury, basically. And honestly, in Inside L'Intérieur,
yes,
the worst scene of that is that's not even it.
No, that's true. That's not the worst scene.
And it's not even the worst one of that is when she initially sticks the scissors into the stomach of the lady.
Yes.
Oh
but
my
it's because
God.
of what we know what happens with what's inside the belly.
Yeah, there's a baby there. She's trying to take the baby. That's a movie that I don't really want to rewatch, but
no,
that's a good movie.
I love it, but I can't. I don't think I can rewatch.
Yeah,
it.
because the least gory scene in that movie is also the worst one, when she sticks into the belly button.
all of the like premise and everything is just the most horrible thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, that movie
it's
is
so uncomfortable.
That movie is truly
so
dark.
Good. Yes,
that's something I want to discuss, because we've already mentioned it that it was
yes.
It was fun, and it was a thing a bit on the internet, on Twitter. People were like up in arms that they were killing children in this movie.
Yes.
And we've talked about this. I had my famous meltdown talking about children being hurt.
Wow, this has been a good season for children.
I want to talk a little bit about that, because here I'm saying it's good that they're killing children, which is, in context of the movie.
Exactly.
And it also has to do with what kind of movie it is. This is a silly, campy, slasher movie. Yeah, it's kind of horrific that they literally blow up 5 children. Well, some
that
children.
too.
Yeah.
I actually forgot about that.
Like they give a child a bomb in a Christmas present. Yeah,
lighting fire to another bunch of children.
Yeah,
parents.
That's horrific, but it's also kind of, oh my God,
yes.
shocking in a funny way.
Yeah,
but
kind of expected it.
Yes, but in a movie like Speak No Evil, when it's so grounded, it's so real. And it's not, and it's even worse. They're not killing the child; they're taking the child away, doing God knows what to it.
Exactly.
That's when it's disturbing. That's not fun, because it's too real. This isn't real in any way.
God no. So this has demons, immortal clowns, people giving birth to heads who fall in love with them, and I don't know. Like, there's hellholes opening, there's, like, guardian angels and stuff. No.
Then it's more acceptable.
Yes. Also, we don't actually get any on-screen children dying.
No. We hear it,
we get implications, sounds, and we see the aftermath.
Yeah. So,
we don't even, with the girl, we just saw him grab her and that's it, right?
We just see his shadow coming over her in the beginning.
Exactly. Yeah. And, like, he opens the cabinet door and that's it, basically.
It goes...
Exactly. We don't get to see what happens to the little girl.
No.
We can assume.
We know what happened.
We know,
to her.
technically,
yeah.
but like
chopped them into itty bitty pieces.
Yes. But we don't get to see it, so it's fine.
Yes,
and I think even if we did get to see it, it would have still been kind of fine, because that might have been a bit much.
Yeah. That's
one of my things that I both love and hate about all of these movies. Whenever we do get to see people get chopped up and die, they live for too long.
That's gonna sound weird again.
That's why I say I both love and hate it, because it's so unrealistic. Like, you die from like shock and blood loss from the first 2 chops,
and here they live on for so long,
for like 10 minutes sometimes. Yeah, and you can halfway cut through, and you're still crawling. Like, no, you're dead.
No, but that's what I do like about that. It goes that extra mile, so to speak. Because in a lot of slasher movies, first of all, they usually like edit it down, because it's a studio that owns it, so they don't want an X rating, they want an R rating, so you can't show too much. Yeah. And it's usually like, they walk up and bum, and they die. Like, oh my God! Yeah. Sometimes it's a little more. Or there's like
gory. A bunch of shallow cuts or something.
Yeah. Like one of the more graphic ones, unfortunately, is in Jason X, when the guy falls off a walkway and lands on like a giant drill and like slowly turns on the drill. oh, that's funny, and or the one where he freezes the girl's face in like what's it called, liquid nitrogen, and it just smashes her face, kind of like in this movie. Like the whole point of slasher movies is that they're supposed to be inventive and quote unquote fun, gory kills, but we don't usually get to see too much of it.
No.
Here they drag it out.
Yes, we literally watch him chop arms and limbs off.
And people scream and gurgle.
Chop by chop by chop.
And he loves to scalp and pull the skin off people.
Oh, yes.
Which is also
just crushing the skull and like ripping it open somehow. Or literally just tearing people's faces off with his hand.
Yeah. And I know our mom listens to this. So this is what we watch.
This is just horror movies.
Exactly. It's just horror movies. It's kind of like listening to Cannibal Corpse. It's like, ooh, it's so gross, but it's kind of fun too. It's the same thing. Sorry, Mom. But that's why I like these, because they go further than any other.
Yes.
Like it's like mixing in torture porn with slasher. But torture porn movies are so
fun.
Yeah, torture porn doesn't do it in a fun way. It's just
they're
gross.
always so serious and dark.
Like the Hostel movies. It's just gross.
Yeah. When they do it like this, when they put a bit of a funny, exaggerated slashing splatter sound to it, and there's like too much blood for a human body, and it just goes everywhere.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's shocking in a fun way. Yes. You're like, oh my god.
And then on top of that, they're doing the fun bit where a black and white clown is doing all
laughing
this.
at it, like,
and he's constantly that face. I love that face.
Yes. What's the guy? What's his name?
Oh, the actor?
David Howard
Thornton.
God damn. Is he good?
You're my hero.
I hope, because once again, going back to the Q&A with Damien Leone, where he talked about, he wants to make one more movie, maybe two more. And that's what he has said in a lot of other interviews as well. Yes. He doesn't want to milk it like too much. He wants to tell this story and then be done with it. Also because, he can't keep coming up with weird scenarios like in this movie.
No.
But then he did mention in the interview that he would be fine with like someone else taking over and like telling their own art stories. He didn't say their own Terrifier stories, but art stories.
Yes.
And I don't know, because then that would still be kind of milking it,
Kinda.
I would love for this to be like over in 5 movies, and then that's it. Like, leave when you're on top, which these kind of franchises never do.
No, that's the issue.
And then they do, the reboots and soft reboots and everything, and it just like, ugh.
Technically, I feel like Art could be one of those immortal characters that could just come back in any kind of iteration, I guess.
Yeah, and that's what he was talking about. Like if some other director has ideas for it, they could do their own art movies.
What's important though is that they finish off the story about Sienna and Vicky, which I think are the two like main characters here. So Vicky's kind of gone now.
Yeah, unless she comes back as well.
Her head melted, right?
Oh, right, yeah, her entire body melted, I think.
That's true, right? Because that's one of the things that I didn't really fully understand, but they talked about it more in this one. What Vicky became.
Yeah, and that she's actually, it's not Art that is possessed by a demon. It's Vicky that is, and Art is just
which
like
I think was
the handyman.
Yeah, and Vicky was portrayed, I guess, that way then in The Girl a little bit in the second movie. This is how they explained the girl, I guess.
Yeah, they never explained who that girl was. Because Vicky was still around.
They mentioned it. Yeah, but they mentioned it like now that, but the little girl, or before they could become too powerful. So I'm assuming she was like the manifestation of the demon first.
Maybe.
And then she got into Vicky somehow. Yeah. Not entirely sure how that works into the timeline, but still. Yeah.
Once again,
that's one of the things I feel are a little bit iffy with the story.
Once again, the plot is not the strongest in these movies.
The whole demon possession,
and us actually
Jesus
like
angel crown thingy,
seeing the demon being held back by Mother Mary and stuff. You're like, what? Yeah. But it was a Mother Mary statue.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on here.
A little bit too weird. That's that's why I kind of like the first one better, because it doesn't have any of that.
But the movie's boring.
I still like the kills.
Sure, yeah, sure. But it's the rest that...
Yeah, it's the rest.
That movie really ramps up in the last, 15, 20 minutes. I love the end of that movie.
Yes.
But the first hour is just oh, God.
No, but there's the pizza shop scene is
Pizza shop
amazing.
scene, yeah. The splitting the girl in half scene. Yeah. But other than those,
But it's also an hour 30 long, so...
Sure, yeah.
It doesn't have time to be too boring.
No.
This one is still obviously up there. It's... If we disregard the whole storyline of the Holy Sword or whatever...
Yeah.
This one is the best.
Oh, yeah.
I just feel like the Holy Sword and the weak explanation we get about that and the premonitions and the character of Sienna's... The warrior angel, whatever you called her... I don't like that part. It ruins it a little bit because we don't get enough of it to understand it properly.
Yeah, I hope that
over the course of 2 movies we still don't have enough to fully understand it.
No, yeah. So I hope that we get a
Yes.
Obviously, what we saw here was that the guy, the dad, Sienna and Jonathan's dad was a comic book artist or an artist.
Yes, for Blaster Man.
Yeah. And he designed the suit or the costume she wears in the second movie was from his design of this warrior angel, which was based on
which
Sienna.
they mentioned in the second movie.
Yeah. And here I get the feeling he designed that as a present for Sienna, but as he handed that over, that's when you see him getting the flashes, and that's kind of when they talk about him going crazy in the second movie.
Yes.
I think it started there, and he this is me speculating, but that the same way that Art was chosen by the demon to kind of be their handyman, I'm guessing whatever the good force is in this story chose the dad, whatever his name is, to kind of be force for good, but then he transferred that to Sienna. The way, or that that Sienna is the she's like the good Art, so to speak. Yeah,
that's how, because when she reads Jonathan's letter back to him in the little chapel, he has written in the letter I think that's why they chose you, Sienna, to be their warrior or something.
Yeah, okay, so maybe the dad is the vessel to tell her what she has to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they, I guess, are the angels or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, angels and demons. I'm guessing that's what it is. Yeah, I hope...
But that's the part I want more of, if I'm gonna accept it, I guess.
And I think we're gonna get that in the next movie.
Yes.
And I really hope he wraps it up in 4 movies, not 5 movies. Because, we need to get some closure with that plot at this point.
Yeah. No. It's the second and the third... And then I guess the fourth could be their own trilogy a little bit.
Yeah.
The first movie's just an intro.
The first one is pretty detached, yeah.
Yeah.
Other than Vicky, and it doesn't really have any.
You get enough explanation about her in the beginning of the second movie.
Yes,
so.
Exactly. So, did we talk about which was your favorite kill in this movie?
No, I don't think we did that yet. And I think my favorite kill is the bathroom scene.
Yeah, the shower scene.
The shower scene, yeah. Because we get to see so much. It's also a little bit of a revenge from the first movie, like I said.
Yeah.
We get the male version of being split in half.
Yeah.
From the most uncomfortable part of your body. And we get the bloody angel at the end.
Oh my god.
Cherry on top.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw the blood, I was like,
blood angel.
He's gonna do Snow Angel.
Yeah,
he's gonna do it. And then slowly he sat down and I love that.
Oh.
Absolutely love that. I think that was my favorite scene.
Yeah. And it's just once again talking about the glee that Art has when he's killing. And love that they always they do jump cuts as he is having fun. Almost.
Yeah.
Sometimes even cutting, not even cutting to gore and then him laughing, gore him laughing. Sometimes just him laughing, cut to him doing something other laughing.
Yeah.
Because he just loves murdering people in the worst kind of ways.
He loves to see blood splatter and see the insides of people.
Yeah. It's...
But that's my favorite kill scene. My favorite scene is still the bar scene.
Oh, yeah.
That whole interaction in general, just amazing. It's the most we get to see of Art and his just being a silly clown.
Yeah. I mean, you know that he's going to kill them, but it goes on for so long that you're like, maybe he's just having fun.
Yeah.
And not killing
If
them.
no one pisses him off, he might just leave. He might just accept that they leave eventually and then leave himself.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But that's also, like, if we're going to talk about him, I felt like he wanted to get angry at them so he could kill them. So,
yes,
like,
which is why he does what he does.
Yeah, because they were like too accepting of him almost. At first they're like, nah, but then like, oh, you know what, Clowny. They keep calling him Clowny. I like you. And then he's like, well, I have to make them not like me so that I can kill them.
I can't kill them if they like me.
Yeah, it was almost felt like that. So then he spit out the alcohol and pissed on Santa. And I was like,
for some reason, he kept going to the bathroom in this movie.
Yeah.
Which I don't think he's done in any other movie.
No.
Also, it had one of my... He's like whenever I see him in a movie, I'm like, I like that dude.
Clint Howard?
Yes.
Yeah. Just who play like a random guy who hangs out at the bar.
Smokey,
yeah. Oh, my son was like, oh no, Smokey, you killed Smokey. Clowny, why are you doing this? Oh.
The three of them really. Smokey, the clown, Santa, and the bartender, they were the perfect dynamic.
Yeah.
And then just having him thrown in there is just awesome.
Yeah, it was just them hanging out at a bar. It was like for a second you're like, oh yeah, he's just a fun guy. And then, oh no. Yeah. Now he shot Smokey in the head. Oh, he's tying up Santa and freezing his feet and smashing them. Oh, oh, he's freezing Santa's face and ripping it off. Oh, Santa's still alive. No,
poor Santa. They also had, which is disgusting of me to say, but one of the more creative things I've seen in movies, which I've only seen in like 2 other movies, is the use of rats to get people to talk.
Yeah.
They do a version of this.
Yes, it's the Too Fast, Too Furious scene.
Yes. I've seen it in something else.
Yes, I mean, that's not a common thing.
That's the one I think of.
It's one of those cartel things you've heard, like, they torture people by, putting rats on
or making rats eat them or something.
Yeah, with a blowtorch. And here, they shove a glass tube down the throat of mommy. And then they put rats in the glass tube and put a fire to the end of the tube. So they crawl inside her throat.
Her throat.
And then they
slip the throat
cut
just to let them out.
Yeah. Oh, and the fact that
which is, by then she was already dead. Yeah, because honestly,
he hammered the glass tube down her throat, which is already too big. So her jaw is broken because there's blood everywhere. She starts puking, and the puke then, of course, going down. So she's already choking on her own blood and puke. Yeah. Then they shove the rats down her throat. Then they slit her throat. Yeah, exactly. She's dead.
She's dead 3 times over.
But once again, that's when you hear her going like, so you know she's still alive. Like, oh no, she's still alive.
So disgusting, but so... which is why I'm saying it's terrible of me to say this, but also one of my favorite scenes. Just that sequence of it.
Yeah.
Because that entire scene is such a long scene in general.
Yeah.
The entire ending, basically, is all just one long scene.
Yes.
It's but it has some bits and pieces.
Terrifier 2, yeah.
Yeah. It has some bits and pieces that you can separate a little bit.
Yeah. Or once again,
one of it.
or once again, just Art loving to hurt people or see them suffer. They tell Sienna to open her Christmas present. We'll give you one Christmas present before we kill you. And right as she's about to open the presents, Art smashes her hands, like breaks them completely. The skin is open, like, haha, now it's gonna hurt you to open the present. While she's still doing it with her broken fingers, he smashes her shoulder as well. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Dude?
And I was like, is he like somewhat aware of what could be in that package, and that's why he...
I don't think so. Then they wouldn't have given it to her, because that's the one
No.
thing that can defeat them. Because, yeah, she had put the
I mean, it
sword
didn't defeat him, though. Even though she stabbed him
No,
with
but
it.
they defeated Vicky.
That's true. That's one thing I definitely didn't like, was the Jesus crown of thorns.
Yeah,
It felt a little bit too...
it's a little too on the nose.
Yeah.
That Sienna is literally
She looks
Jesus.
exactly like Jesus from like Passion of the Christ, I think it is. Yeah.
It's funny then, because they pointed out that this was the first movie where Damien Leone didn't do all the effects himself. He actually hired someone, an Academy Award-winning effects guy who had done the effects for, they mentioned
Passion of the Christ.
Passion of the Christ, yeah. So maybe
what was his name?
Oh, I don't remember. Maybe it was not the, because that was also, this one had a lot of homages to other horror movies or just movies in general.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, since it's Christmas and all the very bright, colorful Christmas lights immediately made me think of Black Christmas.
Yes, which they mentioned.
They mentioned, especially with the lights and everything, the anamorphic lenses. But then also, and that was something that they didn't mention, the fact that in the beginning, when Art is kind of waiting for his time to rise again, he sits down in the attic of that old house, and he sits in a rocking chair looking out of a window, which is where the first body is in Black Christmas. You know, the body where the guy, he strangles the girl with the plastic bag, and she just sits up there for days while they're looking for her. Yeah, that's Black Christmas. But then
that's true.
What they did point out is that the window he's looking out of, it has the same shape as the windows of the house in the Amityville Horror. So that's a reference. And then
I guess, yeah.
Then that was one I probably wouldn't have noticed unless people pointed it out. But it's towards the end where there's kind of like a scene looking up at him as he raises the hammer, I think it is. And I think it's when he supposed to smash her hands in. They kind of film him that way. It is, once again, an exact like replica of a shot in Black Christmas.
I guess it is, yeah.
And then, of course, some, I guess, unintentional references to Silent Night, Deadly Night, with him just walking around in a bloody Santa suit.
Yes.
Of course, the shower scene, Psycho.
Yeah.
Iconic kill in a Psycho shower scene.
Yes.
Which was also one that there's somebody pointed this out before I saw the scene. Someone mentioned like, oh, Terrifier 3 is going to do for showers what Jaws did for the ocean. Someone pointed out like, no, Psycho did that in the 60s.
Yeah.
Dude.
Already done.
Everyone was scared of showers from Psycho, not this.
And everyone's reusing it, but it's still credited to Psycho. I was trying to look up what the person was, the name of the person who did the special effects for Passion of the Christ. I get Keith Vanderland, but that wasn't the name he said. He talked about someone else. Thing is, I have the video. I could check it, but I'm not going to do it now.
By the way, he told us to upload videos and stuff, so we're going to upload that Q&A, because you have the whole thing except for like the first 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Because it was no like introduction or anything. They just, as soon as the credits were over, they just started showing it. And there was no introduction.
I think we heard like "Good morning," and then all of a sudden there was a screen, and there were two people on it. Like, oh shit!
Yeah.
And I accidentally pressed photo first for a second instead of record.
Here it is. I think the makeup department has John Caglione Jr. as a special effects makeup designer. I think that's the guy he mentioned.
Caglione was the name, I think.
Sounds familiar.
Correct.
And if we look him up, we can see if he worked on... yes, he worked on The Dark Knight, which he mentioned. He designed the Joker makeup. Woohoo. So that's him. Yeah. Oh my, yeah. He's worked on The Irishman. He worked on Sicario 2, which is actually a good movie. He's worked on a bunch of cool TV shows. The Deuce, Hunters.
Yeah, there he is. John Caglione Jr.
Yeah, a bunch of stuff. So I mean that's also. But I mean, if you didn't know that, you couldn't tell that this is not a Damien Leone effects, because it still looks like his style. It was just even more like
watched the first two movies and like went with that.
Yeah. It was like, Because now it's the point where like, oh yeah, I don't have to do everything myself, and kind of loses the soul. No, not at all. No. This is complete. This is, like I said,
he was still hands-on everything. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, and like I said, this is the most Terrifier of all the Terrifier movies.
Yeah.
So
he had time to focus on everything more instead of just doing like, shit, I have to make sure the special effects look good.
Yeah. No, yeah, like that's what I mean. Everything is better in this. Editing, the music is still so. I don't know. All the like bad like sounds like copyright free synth wave they use. I was like, what is this? But there's less of it in this than in the second one.
There isn't a lot of music in general, if I'm being honest. No. It's only when there's like the action scene kind of thing.
But then,
for the blood and gore, it's just the gore.
Yeah. But like we mentioned before, the cinematography, the acting is better. I mean, Lauren Laverne was good. I think she was good in the second one. She is even better in this one.
Yeah.
People have started mentioning her as like a modern scream queen. I would say, yeah. Like with
she could be.
What else we have, I would say she's up there.
Yeah, she could be. Yeah. She needs to do a little bit more, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, she hasn't done much outside of Terrifier. I know she did like an Italian movie called The Well, but it's almost impossible to find because I think it didn't really get distribution after showing in some festivals and stuff. And then I know she's
definitely done more horror-ish stuff.
And she's done small stuff. Like she's in one episode of Marvel's Iron Fist. Stuff like that.
And a bunch of shorts.
Yeah. I know she has
like small
something
parts.
upcoming. Yeah, The Monster. I read about that recently. Which is like it's a bigger movie. It's starring Lauren Laverne and Jimon Hunsu, so that's pretty cool. Not a horror movie though, I don't think. Maybe it is.
Chestnut. Why do I recognize Chestnut?
Chestnut.
Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Chestnut. Yeah, this is not a horror movie. Something else. I'm thinking of another movie. Oh. Never mind.
No, yeah. Just like art is becoming like a cultural thing, I think Sienna should as well.
Yeah.
She is good enough to earn that, I would say. But yeah.
I mean, her freak out was a little bit much at points, but at the same time, I get it. I understand why.
Yeah. Ooh, that was another
literally being terrified.
That was another great scene. When they're having
the friend showed up at the dinner
when they're having dinner, which is kind of a reference to An American Werewolf in London, when you have his dead friend showing up to kind of guide him. Yeah. And here the bitchy friend from the party of the last movie shows up and like, yeah, it's your fault I'm dead, and her face is just ripped off.
The best part was that you kept hearing someone say like, "Can you pass the rice?" And like, no one's passing the rice. Like, who's saying that? Is it the mother or like?
And then boom, you see her like, "Oh fuck!"
Like, pass the rice.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really good. It was. I mean, honestly, it was a pretty good, even though it's kind of over the top. It was a good representation of like trauma.
Yeah, it is definitely over the top. It's been 5 years, like that podcast girl says, Mia. It's been 5 years. They should get over it. Like you don't really get over.
Especially not when it's that horrifying.
I mean, she's been in and out of psych wards for 5 years.
Yeah.
Like she's definitely not over it.
No.
Hell, she might have a bit of of what her dad had, which would slowly drive her insane.
If that is
obviously,
just, maybe he wasn't crazy though. Maybe it was the angels telling him things.
Sure, but that would drive you kind of crazy if no one understands you or no one believes you.
Yes.
And I mean, she's obviously having the same issue. No one believes her when she says that she saw him. Yeah, she knows it's him.
They even hinted at. It was kind of funny. There was actually a trial after the second movie. Yeah, because a bunch of people died, and she was at one point the main suspect. Which is funny, though, because everyone knows about the Miles County clown. So why would they suspect her if they know there's a crazy guy in a clown suit walking around killing people?
Because no one could verify that he was there at that time when Sienna and all her friends got attacked.
True, that's true. Yeah.
No one else, everyone who saw him except for Sienna and Jonathan died.
That's true. Even the cop.
In the first movie, people saw him on the street and didn't die.
That's true. Yeah.
Because he was just out and about. In this one, or in the second one, I think he was more careful.
Yeah.
I also, randomly, changing back the subject to movies that seem to have been referenced. I don't think this was a reference, it just made me think of it. When he was driving around in that van, I just thought of Black Phone a lot because of the long face and the very more like detailed face, and then driving around, luring children, basically.
Yeah, true.
It's just, regular old, though, bad guy in a van.
Yeah, it's the classic pedophile / rape van,
Yeah. Stay away from vans, children.
Stay away from vans. Yeah, exactly. That's the one thing, like, all the stranger danger
doesn't matter what they offer. Kittens, candy, do not go to a van.
You should always be wary.
Black Phone. Yeah. Even if they ask for help. No.
Do not.
Stranger danger.
Yeah. Even if other things are warning signs, if you see a van, you definitely know it's a bad guy. Run.
No one owns a van unless they're a bad guy. There's no point to it.
True.
Sort of. Tradesmen.
Yeah, but they don't ask kids to go into the van.
Usually.
No.
If they do, obviously they're bad guys. So.
Then run again, run! Oh, yeah. Well,
no, but the all in all, this was a really good movie.
Oh, yeah.
I did definitely enjoy it. It's gonna be one of those that I rewatch every. Hell, this is gonna be like November watch. Though,
I think so. Yeah.
Christmas theme.
Because it was.
So you watch Terrifier 1 and 2 late October, and then you watch Terrifier 3 in November, along with like Nightmare Before Christmas,
Gremlins,
to have this like
classic.
crossover. Yeah. And then you go into Christmas.
Ooh,
movies.
you know what's another November movie? I just thought of that. Because usually you think about it as a Halloween movie. Blair Witch Project. Because of all the fall leaves.
That's true.
It's more of a November movie. I mean, it's an October movie as well.
It could be October as well,
If you want that in between, it could work.
I mean, there's a lot of horror Christmas movies in general you could watch in between.
Yeah, that was the thing, though. I don't know, because I was expecting this, of course, to be a Christmas horror movie. One that I could add to the list of, Christmas horror movies to have in rotation on Christmas.
Yes.
I don't think I'm going to put it in my Christmas horror list. I mean, it is Christmassy.
But it doesn't take place on Christmas Eve. It's before Christmas.
Yeah, and it didn't feel like a Christmas horror movie. It felt like a horror movie that takes place on Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
This is not like
there was none of this Christmas magic in
exactly.
And but it also, because it doesn't actually take place on Christmas, it's leading up to Christmas.
Yeah.
Because Jonathan is supposed to get there for another few days. He's supposed to show up on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And Sienna asks him to come a few days earlier even.
Yeah.
So they're like on, I don't know, the 20th or something.
And like you said, it lacks that special Christmas magic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Christmas in it, and I enjoyed that. I loved all the decorations and that. Because they had like the lighting and everything, they just barfed Christmas lights and everything. I loved that. Made the movie look so good. But yeah, I wouldn't call it a Christmas horror movie.
No. Oh, we need to talk about one of the plot things that we briefly mentioned on our way home afterwards.
Oh, okay.
The timeline between the two movies and the fact that they call it that the 5-year anniversary is coming up.
Yeah, that must be a
does
miss.
Not really add up.
No, yeah, and I think that's honestly like a mistake. I would love to ask Damien Leone about that, to see if it was just a mistake. Because, yeah, we know that the first one takes place on Halloween.
Yes.
We know the second one takes place on Halloween.
On Halloween.
Yeah. But this one takes place 5 years after the second one.
Yeah.
And Mia, the
podcast girl
who wants to interview Jonathan and Sienna, she mentions that the 5-year anniversary for what happened in the second movie is about to come up.
Yeah.
But
which doesn't make sense. It would have made more sense if she had said had just been.
Exactly.
That we just passed the 5
this would have been like
a
month or 2 months really after the 5-year anniversary. And
unless it's the next year that's the 5-year anniversary, but that doesn't make sense either.
No, exactly.
And it doesn't. It's not coming up then. It's a while left.
Yeah, then it's 11 months left.
Exactly.
So I think that was just a mistake. They just wanted to talk about the 5-year anniversary, and we know that the Christmas aspect of this movie was an afterthought.
Yes.
The story when he wrote the story, it wasn't during Christmas. It was while they were like prepping the movie that his producer, whatever his name, Falcone something, said like, wouldn't it be awesome to put it during Christmas? And like,
imagine art at Christmas wearing a Santa suit. And like,
and then they basically added
light bulb.
And they basically added into the script, and it's Christmas.
And then just threw Christmas on everything.
yeah. So that might be that might just be that he, like, honest mistake. He had written the script. It was supposed to take place just before Halloween.
Yeah,
5 years after
and
the last
maybe
one.
that detail was the one thing he didn't really change because he either forgot or just didn't really think about it. Hey, he did ask us to post all things online, so this is us officially asking you, Mr. Leone.
This is a clip then. Say it.
Yes. Was that a mistake, or was there a point to it that we just didn't understand? Like, why was the 5-year anniversary around the corner, according to Mia, when it should have just been? Please let us know. Comments, film a little video, put it on Twitter or Insta or wherever you want to do it.
We would love to have you on.
Tag us.
Yeah.
I mean,
that would be amazing.
We would love that.
Yeah.
That would be
amazing. Like we say, hey, we're just being fair. We're just asking questions. We've been gushing over your movie for an hour now, so we're not haters at all.
No, at all. Not at all. No. God, no. This is still one of my favorite horror franchises in general. And yes, I'm going to call it a franchise.
It is a franchise at this point.
Now.
We have 4 movies, technically. Yeah.
Exactly. I hate the word, but it is.
It is a franchise, yeah. And I would say, have there been more highbrow, more interesting horror movies this year? Yes. But
sure,
when the spoiler awards comes up, this is going to be a strong contender for best horror movie.
It is definitely nominated.
Oh, yes, we can tell that already. Yeah, this is definitely nominated.
And hey, Mr. Leone, if you want a physical award,
contact
us. We'll make sure to get you on.
If you win.
If you win, obviously. I mean, we are though very much against bribes. Just so you know, we don't take bribes. I'm sorry.
Like we will not take a cameo in the next movie as payment for giving you an award. We will not accept that. All right, this is getting silly. We should wrap this up.
Yes, we should. I haven't rated it yet, and I don't even know what I'm going to rate it.
I did, and I actually, because I like I said, I rewatched the first 2. I didn't rewatch All Hallows Eve for this, and I was actually a bit more conservative with my points this time. Once again, not being a hater, but I gave the first one a 2 out of 5. Because, like I said, the kills and everything are a lot of fun, but I think the pacing is in that one.
Yeah.
Originally, I gave Terrifier 2 a 4. But rewatching it now, like, I have a problem with the cinematography and all that. Once again, the kills are amazing, but I think overall, as a movie, so I gave it a 3 this time, which is still good. But then I had to ramp it up for this one.
Ramp it up a little bit.
This is definitely my favorite of the 3. So I gave Terrifier 3 a 3.5. With a chance, like if over the years when it gets, when it becomes like more of a cult thing, when you rewatch it, it could be a 4. And on a scale of
can grow on
and on a scale of fun, it is definitely a 5.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
2 and 3 is a 5 on that scale.
If you specify all of the components of the movie, some of them are 5s.
Yeah, but as a hang-up movie, I would love. I don't think Martin, my horror movie best friend, I don't think he's seen these movies. I would love to watch them with him.
Ooh.
I know at the moment, as we're speaking, he is watching The Conjuring for the first time.
For the first time?
Yes, he's never dared to watch it before. He hates jump scares.
Same, but I mean...
No, he doesn't find it funny. I forced him to watch the second one a long time ago.
Like randomly?
Yeah. We made it about 20 minutes in, and he literally screamed, "Turn it off!"
Sorry.
But he texted me right before we started recording, like, might as well get it over with, and it's just The Conjuring, it said on the TV.
Good for him.
Good for him. But yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Thank you so much for watching, if you're watching this on YouTube. Remember to like and subscribe. Leave your comment. What did you think of Terrifier 3? Helps us with the algorithm. And if you want to listen to us talk more about the Terrifier franchise, we're going to do that on Patreon this Monday.
Yes.
Obviously, we already did a review for the second one, and we talked a bit about Terrifier 1 at that point, but that's 2 years ago. It's going to be fun to revisit that for the Patreon, and I guess talk more about the third one.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so check us out on patreon.com/don'tmakeascene for that. It's $3 a month, and you have literally, at this point, like 150 hours of exclusive material. Other than that, check us out next week for Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And the Patreon for that one is going to be Clown House. That's going to be fun to talk about. Speaking of children being hurt. Not fun at all. But
I haven't not seen that yet.
No, the real stuff that happened.
Oh.
That's that one. So.
We'll talk about that in the next episode.
Don't want to put a damper on this. But yeah, once again, thank you so much for listening and watching. And we'll see you in the next one. But until then, have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
The Spoilercast is part of Please Don't Make a Scene. It's hosted by Tobias Vedén and Rebecca Vedén. Produced and directed by Tobias Vedén. Executive producer is Annika Vedén. I also want to give a big shout out to all our patrons. Mom and Mac, Laura Kinney, Daniel Geiso, Christopher Belén, Mom, Dad, CK85, and Jacob.